Hello out there in video land, and hello out there in radio land. Yeah, we got everything going. Bob Seger, I cut him off. You're out of there. Too bad it wasn't Springsteen. I really would have loved to cut him off, but darn it, he didn't come up in time. I would have cut him right off. He's cut off. He's out. He's leaving the country. He can't take it. He's leaving the country, Springsteen. His baby, he was born to run. I don't know who he's going to run to. Maybe France will accept him. Yeah, and here we are, finally Friday, November the what is it today? November the 8th? Finally Friday, November the 8th, I think it is today. Let me look. Oh yeah, the 8th. Hey, 15th. 1 week today, Tyson's gonna fight that Jake Paul guy. Man, oh man, that's a tough one to call. But he's gonna fight him. Don't ask me why, I don't know, because I think he might just he's Tyson, but geez, he's 57, 8 years old. 57, 58. How's he going to beat this young kid? I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he says he's gonna. So, yeah, here we go. We'll see. But I think I would put. Oh man, that's going to be a tough one. But I am going to watch it next Friday. It's on. Hey, this is Paul K. Lemire. See, it's a Lemire thing. You wouldn't understand. And we are in 4680Q radio in the studio here with Your City, Your Voice. Today is the day, Your City, Your Voice. It's Friday. That's the day. That's always the day. Friday, we get out of here, and then we relax for the weekend and come back on Monday with a big show, our Remembrance Day show. Dave Wheeler will be in every year we do this to pay tribute to those who paid the ultimate price in war for our freedoms. We remember them. We remember our forefathers. Probably a lot of our families had been in the war, so we remember them. And we pay tribute to those that are still out there fighting wars on our behalf to maintain our freedom. And I urge everybody, buy a poppy, wear a poppy. It's the least we can do, like Don Cherry said. So before we get into the show today, lots to talk about as usual. Let's talk about the sponsors. They put the money down for the show. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Now, yeah, I told you the weather's getting a little bit chilly out there. It's a little bit nipply out there today. Yeah. And you want to make sure that you get your car checked out so it doesn't break down on one of those crappy November days, or even December days. Whenever we start getting snow, it could be any time, but we don't know when. So we want to be proactive. We want to get our cars in to Wild Bill's, talk to Ken Hunter. He's going to do a free end of summer inspection on your car, brakes, suspension, tires. He's going to look at them all, give your car a computer scan, repair any error codes that may pop up. You want to make sure you get them repaired. And he's also going to check your fluids, lightings. Take your vehicle for a test drive to make sure there's nothing that they've missed, and make sure you're good to go for the winter, and you're not going to break down waiting at the side of the road. Now, if you get in a wreck, hey, Wild Bill's has a full body shop. You're going to bring your car in there. He's going to take it in. He's going to do all the tightening and turning and banging and denting and make your car look showroom new. You're going to get out of there looking showroom new. And that's what you want. You want to do that. Go and talk to Ken Hunter. Get your free end of summer inspection done for free. Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. He is on Oakwood Drive next to the Kia dealership. How can you go wrong? Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Did I say that already? Maybe I did. But tell him that. And while you're at it and you're watching this video, if you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care. Comments. Give us some feedback, and we'll get you on. We'll get your comments on air. If you say anything, then I'm going to talk about it on air. So give us some comments. It's all good. It's all good. So away we go here. Like I say, with this weather, I mean, it's taking a turn towards the south here. I mean, it's chilly out there today, but here's the good news. It's going to be in the 50s all the way till at least the 22nd of November. I looked at the 14-day forecast, and it looks like to the 22nd, at least that's all I can see, we're going to be in the 50s. Now, sure, it's going to get dropped down colder at night, and we might get a little bit of frost, but hey, you can't complain about this for this time of year. It could be a lot worse, believe me. And Buffalo knows because this time of year they usually get slammed with a storm that we don't see, and they're crossing their fingers hoping they don't get any of that nonsense this year. And I hope they don't either. It's a bummer, man, when you look 20 miles away and you're sitting in the sun out in your front yard, and these guys are buried in 2 feet of snow, and that happens more than you would think. So last night was the Rick Rose Music Foundation extravaganza. Woo, yeah, extravaganza at Big Texas, and it looked like it was a huge success. I saw a lot of pictures on Facebook. I couldn't make it, but I saw a ton of pictures on Facebook, and it looks like everybody was having a good time. They were doing songs that Rick had written and sang, and and yeah, it looked fantastic. I saw a picture of a lot of friends and fellow musicians. I recognized a lot of people there. They showed up. There's some politicians there I saw, and they all appreciated what Rick gave to the local music scene. He gave a lot of his time. He was a legend in Niagara Falls in music as it is, and he also gave. He gave back to this community probably a lot more than he ever took out of it. Believe me. Now, a big donation was received from a great guy, Phil Ritchie of Kiefer Developments. Unbelievable. And it's really nice to see him step up. $5,000 to Rick Rose Music Foundation. What an absolute awesome donation in Rick's memory. And now, the foundation was formed to help aspiring musicians to give, help them with lessons and instruments and that kind of thing. Because Rick really believed in music. His whole life was about music as a singer, songwriter, producer. So it was really nice to see Phil Ritchie, and congratulations. Thank you very much, Phil, for that, for the foundation. I know Rick's smiling from up above and appreciates it. I don't know the final tally for the amount raised, but every cent's going to be helped to help the kids discover the wonderful world of music that Rick spent his life involved in. Congratulations to everybody involved, and I'm sure the community itself will benefit from everything that was done last night at that event. And also, congratulations to all the performers who showed up. There was a whack of performers. I knew a lot of them, some I didn't know, but they're all there in honor of Rick performing. And it just shows you how much he was loved in the music industry and how much he's missed. So there you go. Congratulations, Rick. It's in your honor, buddy. It's in your honor. Everybody misses you. I look at that chair every day. Every day I used to come in here for over 2 years and see Rick in that chair, and we'd sit and talk about everything but music, really, because I'm not a real big genius when it comes to the music stuff. And but Rick was well versed in everything, and he was a big Habs fan. We had a lot to talk about, and he was here all his life in the city, like me. So we had a lot of people that we had run into over the years and had mutual friends that we talked about. So, well, big, really missed. So, a bit of information for you here. The mayor's 2025 capital budget book is now available on the NiagaraFalls.ca website. That's right. November 26th is when they bring out the capital budget, and it's in there. I checked it out, and I'll be talking more about it next week as we roll into Remembrance Day on Monday and City Council agenda review on Tuesday. So it's probably going to be Thursday before I have a chance to really look at this Bud Mayor's budget book and go through it thoroughly and see what I can see. But I noticed one line entry that I always look for, and that's that council spent $10 million more than they approved, and that we had available when they laid down the 2024 budget. They approved it. So where'd this extra $10 million come from? And if they had $10 million bucks hanging around, why did our taxes go up? Why did our taxes go up if they had 10 million hanging around more than they really needed? And I know probably around 8 million is going to come from the casino funds because they underestimated that by 8 to 10 million. But still, that would be 20 million because they already spent this other 10 million they had packed away somewhere. And why'd our taxes go up if they had it hanging around to blow on other projects? Now, I'm going to definitely read through the report. And I'll report back on it before the budget meeting of November 26th. And I think that's being held in the afternoon at 2 p.m. Now, if you want to attend the meeting and make a delegation, get up there and talk, you can send written correspondence with your request to clerk@niagarafalls.ca, and they will probably get you on the agenda. And you could probably just also go to the website, niagarafalls.ca, and look for it and maybe actually add your name to a list or something like that. You have to go in there and find out. NiagaraFalls.ca is where it is. Look for the budget. Look under the budget in the mayor's budget book and that kind of thing. You'll find it. So we can't wait for that. That's going to be a good one. We talked about the regional budget. We talked about Niagara Lakes budget, what they're doing over there. And I don't think Niagara Falls is any different. Yes, we do get $24 million or $20 million that the others don't get. But for some bizarre reason, it never helps us out. We're no better off than any other municipality. So this concerns me. I think I'm going to have to get Elon Musk in and be the efficiency expert for the city of Niagara Falls. I mean, he went into Twitter, cut 80% of the jobs, sent everybody packing, and the company's still running like nothing ever happened. So you have to wonder what all those people were doing for all those years before Elon took over. And if you remember back years ago, we also saw that with the hydro. The hydro cut 10,000 jobs. 10,000. And you know what? There's no brownouts, no power went out, nothing happened. So you have to look and say, what the hell were these people doing anyway? How can you cut that many jobs? How can you cut 80% of the workforce and still have things operating perfectly? It's because governments are not efficient. They hire, they tax and spend, they hire, they hire, they hire, they whine and cry and fearmonger and keep hiring. I think the Liberal government's hired over 130,000 people since they took office 9 years ago. Maybe more. Who knows? Maybe 250,000. I don't know. At least over 100, I know that. And, all those jobs are all sunshineless jobs. These guys all get the big pay and they get the big benefits and that golden handshake when they leave, big pensions. So, it's not cheap to hire these people. And we're seeing that in the city. And we're seeing it on the police force. We talked about their budget. They want to hire 64 more people. And they also want another $20 or $30 million over last year's budget. I mean, there's got to come a time. We cannot afford it. We're taxpayers. We pay the tab for these guys. So something's got to be done. That's why it's important to pay attention to the budget. Okay, so of course we got to head down south for a moment. I mean, it's still big, huge news, and we have the vice president and the president getting up there and speaking to the big election where Trump just hammered them. The final tally was Trump 312 electoral college votes, Harris 226. That's called a landslide. And it's expected. It was what I expected anyway. I said that I set the over under at 305, and that's not from the bookies or anything. I just made that up where I thought he was going to be, and I took the over on that one. I thought he would get more. Some people said he would win but get less. Some people thought he was going to get killed. He wasn't even going to win. There are delusional people out there. And of course, he got 312. And he swept all the major swing states. He turned the blue states red this time. And his message was heard loud and clear, and they reacted to it. He brought together Latinos, blacks, whites, gays, you name it. Everybody came out to vote for Trump. One big thing to make America great again. That's so good to see. And the fallout from Tuesday's ass kicking, still dropping in tears from the left. Can't believe the doom and gloom they're spewing. The vision of a united country is dead. They think this country is dead. It's not going to be united as far as they're concerned. Their insane rhetoric has to stop. But we saw it happen. The moment he came down that elevator or that escalator in Trump Plaza in New York, they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped on this guy. The difference is this time around, number one, Trump learned his lesson from the first time. He knows the players, he knows the scoundrels, and also he's controlling everything. They're 7 votes away from getting the House, and there's still 15 or something like that to go. Or so they're probably going to get the House. They've got the Senate. They've got the popular vote. He won the popular vote by like 7 million, and they got the White House. So this is going to be good. This is going to be good. He controls it all, and he is large and in charge. And they're crapping their pants, the left, and they're worried because all these guys like Shifty Schiff and Nancy Pelosi and all the attorney generals and judges that were bought and paid for by the Biden administration to take them to court and arrest them and threaten them with 97 or counts of felony, and indicted them 4 times, impeached them 2 times. We were going to send them to jail for 700 years. I mean, on January 22nd, the house cleaning is going to start. All family business is going to be settled, just like you saw in The Godfather at the baptism. So now the finger pointing starts in the high-speed race to the bottom. It's black men's fault. It's white woman's fault. It's Latinos' fault. It's Biden's fault. You name the group, someone on the left has blamed them. Some have gone totally off their rocker, just not understanding how anyone could vote for Trump the felon. They just don't get it. They just don't understand it. They don't understand what happened. They can't figure it out. They're still crying. Even the talk show host, the left-wing talk show host, Jimmy Fallon, was up there almost in tears. It's the end of America. Oh, it's the end. Oh, we're all going to be. And then De Niro's there telling the guy he's not going to have a show anymore because Trump's going to take him off air and cut off the airwaves. They're coming after De Niro, going to throw him under the. Oh boy, these guys are truly mental. They're mental cases. They really are. Right? I think that anyone who thinks this way has to hang around with better people. They have to around with different people because from what I'm hearing, the people that I know, including Canadians, it's really a huge sigh of relief from the markets, from the middle class, from those that are afraid to walk the streets of any big crime-ridden city. This is great. It's for the country on the whole. It's great. The afflicted are comforted, and the comfortable are now going to be afflicted. So there are people who are in, and they're happy. This is good for everybody. People know what they saw in 2016 and want a repeat of those 4 years. Let's face it, there are 4 good years for everybody. Can Trump deliver? Well, that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen, but the results of the astounding sweep of the nation on Tuesday is already starting to show benefits. Thousands of migrants walking towards the U.S. border are breaking up. These groups are breaking up. Some are headed home. They know they're not going to get over. The border is going to be sealed, and they're not going to get through. That's the bottom line. They know it. They just turned around, said, "Up, adios, amigos. I'm going back." The ones in the U.S. that are here illegally, well, they're already prepared to pack their bags. The question the left is asking, well, how is Trump going to deport all these people? How can the authorities round them all up? And I agree that could be a problem, but the authorities know who and where they are. They just need the power to do it. And my only thing is, I don't know if they're going to go peacefully, these people. They could be rioting, and you got the Americans on the left who are going to riot with them, like these two governors of Massachusetts and California, Greg Newsom. They're already talking that they're not going to let it happen. No, they're not coming into our state and taking our illegal aliens. We want to keep them. We're going to protect them. Newsflash, immigration is a federal program. ICE and Border Patrol will be in there rounding these people up and getting them the hell out of there. And there's nothing you can do about Newsom. You're talking a big game. And the Massachusetts governor, whoever she is, I can't remember her name. But anyway, you can talk all the big game you want and make it look good. But at the end of the day, The feds are going to come in and straighten it all out. The drug dealers and criminals may fight back, but they're going to go down, and they're going to go down fast if they get out of hand. So they better just watch their step. No, Trump's not playing around with these guys. And no matter what these undertakers on the left say, the optimism is running through the country already, with reports of gas prices dropping a few cents, the Dow Jones average reaching an all-time high, jumping a record 1,500 points the other day, and people seeing their 401ks growing as fast as the U.S. map grew red on election day. And if you have cryptocurrency, that's been going up too. I mean, Bitcoin's up at around 106,000 Canadian right now. Women in all sports of all ages are breathing a sigh of relief that the insanity of having to compete against men in their sport and having men in their bathrooms and change rooms is done. That's all done. Women from all races are happy to hear their kids are going to be safe when they participate in sports or go to school. Women who want abortions are fine with Trump's policies, at least the ones that can understand what the overturning of RVW means, that their states will decide to be guided by the will of the people. That's right. Wade was overturned, Roe versus Wade, which and sent back to the states, and each state will decide its fate on the subject of abortion, and that's where it should lie. So all these women and these men and whoever has an opinion on abortion can get out and vote. And you can either say it yes or you can say no. You'll be able to do that. You'll be able to choose. And when you choose, that's what's going to be. And if it doesn't go your way, then you go to another state that approves it. You know, the left made a lot out of a woman's right to choose, but in the end, they threw their ticket into the abortion hat. It was a big issue, and they thought it was going to get them elected. It's the economy, stupid. It's the economy. That was the number one thing. And the border was the number two thing. So it always is. It's the economy. People they want to be prosperous. They want to be able to afford to live. And that's what it's all about. Now, the smart people on the left saw what happened here. The left-wing radicals that have taken over the Democratic Party, Tampon Tim, AOC +3, Kamala Harris, even Bernie Sanders. The left, the lefter of the left, the leftist of the left, is chiding them for their campaign. He's telling the middle class didn't leave the Democrats. Bernie Sanders said the middle class didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left the middle class, and they did. They did. They left going to these elite Beyoncés of the world. People that don't give a good God, I'm not going to swear, that don't give a good God darn if the prices go up or not, because they're not affected. They're billionaires. What do they care? Trump saw this. His Republican Party moved to where the Democrats used to be, and the Democrats may never be able to claim the JFK Democratic Party back, because that's where Trump is right now. And in JFK, Tulsi Gabbard, they all knew that. What the heck's ringing this phone? Are they nuts? I can't answer it because nobody's going to hear what they have to say anyway. Send a make a comment on the video. No use calling here. Yeah, so the Democratic Party is back, but it's in the form of a Republican Party. Trump is the guy now. And he's taken the Republican Party and he's turned it into basically the old Democratic Party, and now it's the Trump Party. It's Trump's now. Now over to the wars in the Ukraine and Middle East. Things are going to go down just as I said months ago. Trump can now settle it all, and ceasefires should come fast, even before Trump officially takes office. It'll be a relief to the world and the families who have seen their loved ones, being killed day after day for some small irrelevant swatch of land, no matter what country they live in. So Hamas has been given until Inauguration Day to return the hostages, and now the Houthis and Hamas are calling for an end to the war. Beautiful. Thank you very much, President Trump. An end to the war. Get rid of this. Get rid of this war. And this reminds me of Ronald Reagan's message to the terrorists holding 52 hostages held at the embassy in Tehran in 1979. If you remember, The Iranians grabbed 52 American hostages and held them at the embassy in Tehran. And that was under the Carter administration. And just by coincidence, after the election, when Ronald Reagan won on Inauguration Day, January 20th, 1981, they were released because Ronald Reagan told them, no, let them go. Your game is over. And if you don't, on January 21st, you're going to be having a visit from the United States of America. And they let him go. Now we go over to the FDA. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is telling the FDA and Big Pharma to save their records and pack their bags. They're all getting the boot, and that the suppression of nutraceuticals and anything else that advances human health and can't be patented is over for them. They're done. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, all these different treatments. I won't say cures, I'll say treatments for COVID that weren't allowed in favor of these hoax vaccinations. It's done. Kennedy's cleaning house. And President Trump, please, 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 if he's listening to my show, you think he is? No. But maybe he is. You never know. Please watch your back. The desperate left and the deep state are suppressed, but they're not gone. They're still dangerous, and they're going to try to take you out if they can. I think you know that by now. You know how they operate. 2 assassination attempts already. I mean, the next 3 months are critical for the Republic of the United States of America. So be safe. That's my message to President Trump. Be safe. Watch out. And, like, of course, this is a huge victory. And of course, Joe Biden had that his 2 cents yesterday. And I said that I was watching and I had to leave to come and do the show. But basically, what he said, he woke up long enough to deliver about a 10-minute speech talking about smooth transfer of power and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love when they tell everybody not to worry. Everything's going to be all right. That's their message. Like last week, they were saying that if Trump wins, there's going to be no more democracy. They're going to be run by a Nazi dictator like Hitler, and it's going to be terrible for the country, and they got to vote them. Now everything's going to be all right. I mean, really, they should be telling people to head for the hills before the boxcars roll in to load them up. That's how they were talking before, but now they're telling people it would be the end of democracy. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the end of it. That's not going to happen. So they were lying before, right? Is that what they're telling us now? Yeah. So there you go. These people are a joke. They're a bunch of liars. And the 10-minute speech was just fluff. I mean, it's crazy. Like Kamala. Now, Kamala told her people to fight, and they should never stop fighting. Well, isn't that what Trump got impeached for? On January 6th? Now she's alleged to be locked in a room, not taking visitors or calls. Looks like she's had a total mental breakdown, maybe. Oh, and you know what? She plagiarized her concession speech almost word for word from Hillary's concession speech in 2016. She couldn't even write her own concession speech. Fake, incompetent. That's what she is. And people can't understand why she wasn't elected. American people aren't stupid. A totally fake campaign with a totally fake concession speech, a fitting end for a do-nothing VP, and a loser. What else can you say? Now, we're going to go over to a few others there that I've seen in the last few days. Obama, Karine Jean-Pierre, Mark Cuban, celebrities. We'll go through that, but I'm going to get to my second sponsor first. That's Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. Now, if you're looking for a good piece of pizza, get down there to Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza, because Mike knows how to make a pizza. He worked in an Italian restaurant, the owner, for 15 years, so he understands a little bit about pizza. And he uses the Mancini family, who started Pete's Pizza 40 years ago, uses their recipes for sauce and dough. And I was talking to my buddy Peter Dichter, and he actually went down there and grabbed a slice while he was there. And he said it was good. He said he enjoyed it. So, I mean, there you go. Testimonial time, which is fantastic. Good for Peter. I'm glad he liked it. I know I do. But they use the Mancini family recipes for sauce and crust. The crust and sauce are fantastic. A little bit of cornmeal on the bottom makes it bellissimo. And they cook it just right. They use the Saputo mozzarella and brick cheese for the cheese on the pizza, which makes it really, really good. And he mixes the ratios just right, so you have enough cheese with the sauce. You don't get overwhelmed by either, and that's the way a pizza should be made. Now, they don't just make pizza. They have poutine. They have wings. They have panzerotti subs. They have like 3 pages full out of different items on the menu. So you can't go wrong going there. You're going to find something you like. If pizza isn't your bag, I mean, most people I know love pizza. So there you go. But Mike's a great guy. He takes care of the place, and he's a good guy. He makes good pizza. And that's always important to me. Now, he's extended his operating hours from on Sunday to Thursday. I think he's open till midnight. I have to check that on either 11 or midnight. And from Friday and Saturday, he's open till 2 in the morning. So you get those late night munchies tonight. You don't know what's open? Well, Pete's Pizza Victoria Avenue is open. 905-374-2222. Place your order. Grab yourself a nice pizza on a Friday night after a few brewskis. But don't drink and drive. Don't smoke and drive to get the pizza. Mike will deliver it to you to keep you safe. Also, what they're doing, and this is fantastic, it's their 40th anniversary. So he's offering 2 medium pizzas with 3 toppings on each for $25 plus tax. How can you go wrong? Oh, geez, I'm so excited I hit my microphone. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? Seriously, that's a heck of a price for 2 medium pizzas with 3 toppings on them. Go see Mike at Pete's Pizza. If you don't want to call, just go to petespizzavictoria.ca and you can order right online. What's the matter with that? Support our sponsors. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. He'll be happy. I'll be happy. And you know, we like when our listeners and our viewers support our sponsors. We always like that. Okay, over to the Obamas. They fled the country. Now, maybe they went to Hawaii or somewhere. I mean, that's in the country, but it's not continental. Um, governors of left-wing sanctuary states are calling emergency meetings, along with Big Pharma, who are staring down the agenda of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They don't need X-Lax today. Their systems are totally in panic mode. Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, she was put on the hot seat by the press and got pissed off and walked off the stage. She's done trying to cover up for this criminal administration. Her days are number 2, and she can't be happier. I got to give her credit. She stood tall for 4 years answering for these guys. My goodness, she's got a constitution made of iron. Unbelievable having to put up with these bozos for 4 years. Trump was accused by Mark Cuban of surrounding himself with weak females. And throughout the campaign, accused of being a misogynist. Yeah, we heard that. How many times? How many times? Well, he appointed Susie Wiles as his chief of staff, the first female White House chief of staff in the history of the United States. How about that, all you liars? He's not a misogynist, and he doesn't surround himself with weak women. Sarah Huckabee isn't a weak woman. Kayleigh McEnemy isn't a weak woman. His lawyers are not weak women. They're all females, the best of them. You know, like his daughter runs the corporation. Laura Trump, his daughter-in-law, ran the campaign basically, and got everybody out and organized it all. Yeah, weak women. Mark Cuban, you look like Rachel Maddow now. Grow your hair longer. You can go on TV and sit in for her because she's having a total meltdown too and needs a replacement. All the celebrities that will leave the U.S. if Trump wins are being trolled hard now, and deservedly so. I hope they leave. Traitors they are after making their billions and zillions of dollars in the United States and in the system that they hate so much, the capitalist system. Right? They hate it so much, and they're billionaires. Leave. Go to France. They'll love you there. Go to France. That's where you belong. As far as deporting illegals go, like I said, the governors are saying they're not going to allow it. Well, they have no choice. Forget about that. It's all over for them. And it's funny. Looking at Canadian leaders, I checked it out to see what the Canadian leaders of all the provinces thought, and most of them are very optimistic about being partners with Trump. I mean, I don't see a lot of negative from them. It's the left wing bought and paid for Trudeau media that are making it look like it's a disaster for Canada. I see all these people on there saying, "Oh, they're gonna ruin us. They're taking this. They're gonna put tariffs on. We're not gonna be nonsense." Don't listen to this. The mainstream media, don't listen to them. They're fear mongers, just like they did the whole election. Trump's going to be a dictator. Trump's going to do this. Women will have no rights. Whatever. There's no end to it. Nobody fell for it, by the way. That's why Trump won in a landslide. Nobody fell for it. So it's all doom and gloom. That's what they're paid to do, I guess, or they're just that mentally ill. But it sure doesn't help because Trump is going to come calling, and hopefully, when that time comes, PP will be the MP or the PM, Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre, and have a great relationship with Trump. Something the backstabbing Justin Castro never had. Remember Trump came over and talked to him, and he was lauding him and this and that, and then as soon as he left, he called him I don't know what he called. He called them names in the scumbag or whatever. Remember, the dog wags the tail, and Canada is the tail. And it's best that we work with Trump. He's a great negotiator. He loves to make deals. And that's what we have to do with him. That's what we should be doing with him. Unbelievable. So enough of that. Enough of the politics. I've done that enough for today. For maybe too much for some people. They might have tuned out by now. But, this is what's going on. So if you've tuned out, you missed it. What can I tell you? You're going to be facing it tomorrow, the next day, or the next day, or the next day, because it's going to be happening right in front of you. I'm giving you some information that you might not have right now, right? Like I told you, Trump was going to landslide. Nobody believed me. People argued with me, telling me how great Harris is and how much she's loved and how smart she is. And I would just say to people, I've had this argument so many times now. I just said, tell me one thing she's done. Please, tell me one thing she's done. Well, Trump's misogynist. No. Tell me one thing that Harris accomplished, or Biden accomplished for that matter. Well, Trump's a felon. Like this is the way it goes with these people, and you can't talk to them. And they're still online. I still see them yelling about Trump and he's this and he's that, and they're shocked and they can't believe it. How could this happen? How could they vote? Listen. 75 million people don't agree with you. 75 million people don't agree with you. You're 67 million. Trump won by 7 million. And by the way, Kamala, you better ask Joe Biden where 14 million votes went, because he got 81 million. You got 67. Where did those votes go? Trump didn't get them. He got around 75, the same as he got last time out. So where'd your votes go, Kamala? Were they ever there? Did they ever exist? And I think a lot of the left-wing people who factors should be asking that question too. It's pretty evident that they never existed. It was all fake. And if you don't think that, I don't know what to tell you. Then please explain where those 14 million votes went. I could see if Trump had like 89 million votes or something like that. Well, they voted for Trump. But he never had any more than he had last time, maybe even a little bit less. And he got the popular vote. So where did those 14 million people go that voted for Biden to take him to 81 million? I mean, Obama got 69 million. He was probably one of the most popular U.S. presidents in the last 2 decades. Can't explain. Anyway, back to the city. Want to avoid a ticket at those red light cameras? You know those ones that you go to and they take your picture, and if you pull any stunts at a red light, you get a ticket for $325. Yeah, $325, no points, because it's not about running a red light. It's about taxing you. It's about taxes, making money. They don't care. If they cared, they take points off your license, right? I mean, you run a red light, you get points off if you're caught by the cops, but by the cameras, the red light cameras, no. They don't do that because they just want that money, $325 worth. But anyway, apparently, if you come to a red light, right? Say, for example, that big van out here is at a red light next to you, and you come up to the red light to make a right. Well, if you don't stop at the line and then creep up, if you just kind of roll up past the truck to take a look and you stop, take a look to see if traffic's coming, then go, you get a ticket. You get a ticket because the cameras, if once you cross that line, the cameras think you went through the red light and you didn't stop. That's how they're set up. So if you come to an intersection that's maybe obscured by some buildings or by bushes or by a vehicle next to you in the other lane, and you just roll up through that line where the stop line is there, bang, you get a ticket. $325 ticket. And you have no way to prove that you stopped. That you did stop. Because as soon as you cross it, you get the ticket. So this is getting to be a problem. And the only thing you can do is fight the ticket. You gotta fight the ticket, you gotta go to court, bring in a photo maybe or some kind of video evidence that shows that you can't stop there and see traffic. You have to pull up past there, and then you're going to lose anyway because they're going, that line's there, you're supposed to stop behind the line before you pull up. Yep. So going to be a hard one to beat if you take it to court. And I guess the best thing you can do is just go down to the intersection, take a picture showing the situation that you have to roll up and take a look past the vehicle next to you, say, or past the building or something, and you pulled up and you did stop. You did stop, come to a complete stop, but you couldn't see, so you just pulled up before the line. It's a weird thing, and maybe if you get a good judge that decides that you haven't violated the law, they may give you a pass, but you still got to go through the process of court, and that what a pain in the neck that is. I mean, you got to take a day off work or whatever because you go to these courts and you think you're going to go at 9 o'clock. They tell you to be there by 9. You think you're going to get up there at 9? Forget about it. Forget about it. What happens is you sit there all day, and then you may not even get on the docket if these other ones go long. Like tell you to come back tomorrow. Like you don't know. So really, you just fork out the 325, chalk it up to a lesson, and don't do it again. And that's why I'm telling you, stop at the line. The camera will see it, and then pull up. And then you won't have to worry about it. It's funny, if you murdered somebody, you'd get off. But this, you're not getting off. You're paying 325, red light violation. Got to be careful with these cameras. They're a cash grab. And they make lots of money for the government. So, they're not going to let go of these easy. Let me put it that way. I was reading these stories about these school boards, and we pay taxes and lots of taxes that go to the school boards. And I mean, I have never had a child in school, and I paid taxes all these years. And my mother's 99. She hasn't had kids in school for 80 years, 60 years, 70 years. She's been paying taxes all this time. And I don't begrudge paying education taxes because I think every child should have a good education. I think that's how they become something in life. And it costs money to run a school, but these guys are taking this to another level. They can't keep themselves out of trouble, these school boards. First, it was the Brantford Catholic trustees frolicking in Italy at the taxpayers' expense, allegedly there to purchase religious artwork. It ended up being this all trip ended up being a $145,000 extravaganza that included luxury hotels, 5-star dinners, coming in at a whopping $45,000 for flight, meals, and hotels for like 4 people. It's 11,000 plus per person. And then they bought $100,000 worth of art. You mean to tell me that school in Brantford needed $100,000 of art decorating the hallways? This is where we need Elon Musk. Clean them out. They all should be fired. Every one of these trustees should be fired and criminally charged. It's a joke. It's got to be some kind of joke. And these tough times where taxes are escalating and people are running out of money, the school board decides they need $100,000 worth of art for their school. What kind of trustees are these? Give me a break. Then they decide the best way to get the art is to fly to Italy on the taxpayers' dime and spend another 45 grand on themselves. They got a lot of balls, these people. Seriously, they really do. Now they're being forced to pay it all back after the fact. They probably said, you pay it back, or you're getting criminally charged, and of course save the cost of the artwork. I mean, they don't have to pay that back. It's in the schools, but they really should all be really arrested for misappropriation of taxpayer dollars. I mean, embezzlement, if you want to really get down to it. And the school board okayed it. So the trustees should all be charged. Anybody who was involved with this, the superintendent of the Brantford School Board, whoever it is, that okayed this and knew about it, and until they got caught, nobody said anything. And this isn't the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. There are 3 more school boards under the gun right now. The latest being a $40,000 retreat for the Thames Valley senior staff members and a nice $32,000 conference in Hawaii for 3 staff members. Are you kidding me? Now, this money is supposed to be spent on education and the kids attending the schools, not on exotic trips and expensive art. I mean, come on. Now, the London School Catholic Board is under fire as well for $16,000 given to the staff for a retreat for one night for more than 2 dozen employees. For an overnight trip to St. Catharines, I think they went. Unbelievable. These guys are getting caught, and really they should be charged. They should be charged. That's not what trustees are supposed to do. They're supposed to protect the money and spend the money wisely for the kids and the schools and the education system. It's unbelievable. If you knew what they were spending the money on, even for school supplies, books and that, you'd cringe. Tommy has a penile tuck. How to tuck your penis? You can't even believe what's in the schools. It's sickening. And then these guys are just celebrating, going on John Stidley and $100,000 worth of art and $45,000 worth of hotel rooms, meals, expenses. Unbelievable. Somebody's got to put a stop to this crazy stuff. And there's a lot more that we don't know about. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Think about it. If they're the ones who got caught, who didn't get caught? This isn't their first rodeo. I'll guarantee you that. That's why they did it, because they knew they could get away with it, but they got caught. Now, Premier Ford has had enough. He's going to investigate every board of education and going to do an audit and find other abusers of the taxpayer dollars. And I guarantee you there's going to be lots more. Trustees are supposed to protect the money. They're supposed to be financially responsible, transparent, and accountable to the communities and students they serve. The operative words here are supposed to be. Where it says the province is pouring money into the school boards and they're all partying like a bunch of yahoos. Well, not on the taxpayers' dime anymore. The Brantford Group is going to have to pay back the $45,000 and has been told to look for outside support to cover the $100,000 worth of art. No, taxpayers' dollars aren't funding it. That $100,000, you go out, you find donors, you have fundraisers, and you pay that back too. You're not stealing taxpayer money. And that's the way it goes. I hope they uncover more. I hope they get to the bottom of all of them. Travesty. And a big thanks to Kristen Reshawi for the article from the Toronto Star. Well, we're almost done today. It's finally Friday. Let's end with some monkey mania. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you read the story or not, but 43 monkeys escaped from a research lab in South Carolina. Some dimwit left the cage open at night, and 43 monkeys escaped out of this lab, this research lab. And nobody knows if these monkeys were used for experiments like for infectious diseases. They're not exactly sure what the deal is with these 43 monkeys, but they're gone. They're gone. And nobody's sure if they can round these monkeys up at this point. Once they get away, they're up in trees, they're everywhere. You don't know where the hell they are. They're hoping they can round them up, but this isn't the first rodeo for these guys neither. Monkeys have escaped before. And now 43, they're running around. Who knows what the hell they have? They're going to affect other animals. Who knows what the heck? The humans. Somebody sees a monkey and they go and touch the monkey and get some kind of crazy wacko uh, uh, Wuhan virus or something from them. I mean, these labs are known for doing some weird stuff. It's weird science going on in there. So I don't know. I don't know how they could escape. To me, it sounds like somebody let them out on purpose. Could be some whack job that got in there and didn't want monkeys caged or whatever. There's too many of these people running around to not have consider that as a possibility. But the official story is somebody left the door open on the cage. But come on, man, come on. I mean, I watched the movie Planet of the Apes. Isn't this how that started? Isn't that how it started? Monkeys escaping, and then becoming the Planet of the Apes, and yeah, something like that. I don't know. We're worried about Trump. It could be monkey chump, jump change, bedtime for Bonzo. But anyway, that's the story on that. Keep tuned to that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Monkeys escaping from the zoo. Please, please. Anyway, that's it. I'm done for today. That's my last story. I'm just going to keep watching the goings on down south because it's so interesting to watch what these guys are doing and to watch these people on TikTok screaming and crying and at the end of the world, I can't take it. They're ripping their shirts off that says Kamala. And I can't believe it. And who knows? They might. But you know what? One thing that didn't happen, and this is one thing I thought was going to happen for sure, is riots in the street. I thought when Trump won, people were going to be freaking out. All these BLM and Antifa and everybody else. But no, they didn't. And you know why they didn't? Well, because the votes came from everywhere. It wasn't just white people. It wasn't black. It was everybody. Whites, blacks, Asians, gays, Latinos, you name it. Men, women, young men, young women, old women. It was everybody. They brought up a map. I was laughing my head off. They brought up a map that said, okay, let's see where Kamala made gains in this election. The different counties, they had a whole map. And, they showed the Trump one, and there's red arrows all over the place, up, 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 pointing up all over the map. Like it was like a sea of red arrows. And then they pull up Kamala's, and there wasn't one, not even one arrow on that map. Not even one arrow. That just shows you the way the country united to back Trump, and that's why he got 312 electoral college votes. I mean, the only ones he lost were basically the sanctuary states, like California, New York, and some on the East Coast and up the West Coast, Oregon, Washington, that kind of thing. But funny stuff. You got to keep an eye on it. Now, Monday is going to be our big Remembrance Day show, so tune in for that as we honor those who were in previous wars, those who are fighting today for us. Have a moment of silence. I'm going to read Flanders Field. It's always a touching show. I get a tear in my eye when we do it. Dave Wheeler will be in for that one. Tuesday, I anticipate Dave will be back in the studio for the City Council agenda review. He's usually the guy who sits in with me. And we'll go through the agenda for this Tuesday. I haven't looked at it yet. I've been pretty tied up with other stuff. But I will give it a look at this weekend, and we'll have some great comments and guide you through that meeting at 4 o'clock on Tuesday night. We're going to do a Tuesday noon show. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll get the video up in time for the meeting to start at 4. But usually, if you want to watch it, you probably can. It should be up by about 3 or 3:30 on the Facebook page and on YouTube. And then what I do is the meeting starts at 4, but there's a lot of stuff that is preliminary stuff they go through. deputations awards, mayor's comments, and singing of the old Canada, and the Indigenous reading, land reading, and a lot of other stuff. So you probably the official meeting really doesn't start till around 5, as far as like actual planning matters and that kind of thing. So you probably do have time to see it if you want to know what's going on, or you can listen live at noon on 4680Q radio, and you'll catch it live. But Dave should be in for that. Wednesday is Habsolutely, where John Filion, my co-host, and I cry about the Habs and how terrible they're doing. And well, I cry. John's pretty calm. And Thursday is going to be budget stories. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this budget. I'm going to try to get through it before Thursday, and I'll have a lot to talk about on that as far as that goes. And I might bring somebody in, Chris Regis or somebody in to talk about it too, and hit the region budget while we're at it. So you never know about Thursdays. So anyway, that's that. Today's finally Friday. I'm getting out of here. And it's not a great day to be hanging around outside, but I got lots of other stuff to do today. And there's still things I can do outside. I mean, the leaves are all over the place. It's that time of year, if you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to 4680Q Radio at live at noon. Thank you for so much for watching the video later. It should be up by about 3:30 on YouTube and my Facebook page and other Facebook pages, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. See what I have to say. Turn me on for 5 minutes. If you don't like what I'm saying, shut me off. But tune in. What the heck? You got nothing to lose. Make some comments. Get involved. That's what this is all about. I'm not a reporter. I'm not an investigative reporter. I just comment on what's going on, give you my opinion. Now, you might not agree with me, and that's fine. Leave a comment. I love it. I'll talk about it. Any comments I usually talk about. If they're contentious, or if they agree with me, or if they have another view on something. I mean, there's angles I might not have seen. Give it to me. I love to hear it. Even conspiracy theories on what you think is going on. All accepted. That's what this show's all about. It's about getting together and talking about things, getting involved. And that includes getting out to vote, like we saw so many people do in this election. And hopefully we get a great turnout for our own elections, whether it's Trudeau or Ford or our city council. That's what it's about, getting involved. My name is Paul K. Lemire, right here. It's a Lemire thing. You wouldn't understand. This is your city, your voice, coming to you from 4680Q. Have a good weekend, everybody. Watch the video. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, subscribe, and we'll see you on Monday at noon with our Remembrance Day show. Tune in as we honor veterans of wars and those who fight right now for our freedoms, and they have over the years. Wear a poppy. Buy a poppy. Wear a poppy. It's the least you can do. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later on, Monday at noon. Take care.